Portion Grocery, man.
We are live now on YouTube.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey, welcome to another episode on Armbar, July 20th, 2016. It is Wednesday. We are going to talk about the WWE drafts that are on Raw and SmackDown and the upcoming pay-per-view for Battleground. Boy, do I sound like a robot, or I don't sound like Donald Trump's wife, do I?
I don't even know what
You're not plagiarizing anything.
Yeah, I'm not plagiarizing anything, right? Oh, man.
No, sir.
All right.
So while you continue talking about cool things, Tony, I'm going to actually post this up on our Facebook page. Repost, if you will.
Yes.
if you weed.
Wait, was that Dusty Rhodes right
Yes.
there? Wee.
Okay.
Oh, did you hear about? You told me that Dusty Rhodes and Cody is going to be on the ROH.
Yeah, debuts at Ring of Honor at Ring of Honor's version of WrestleMania Final Battle on December 2nd.
That's fantastic.
In the arena, the old Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. The home of ECW's One Night Stand pay-per-view in 05 and 06. Mike, I'm sure you remember One Night Stand 2006.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena versus RVD for the WWE title.
Oh man, that was a nasty night for John Cena. But then again, that was a great night for all ECW alumni and fans. So
Yeah. What did Liz think when you guys were watching that pay-per-view?
She cried. She was in tears. I think her mascara was just dripping down her eyes.
She's like, "Damn it, Tony! Why are they booing John Cena? That's that pinche chingao."
We can still say that on the air, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not live on the recording
In
yet.
case Liz is watching, that was a
But
playful impression.
if you want, you can tell Chris I posted a new link. Yeah, we still got the one viewer. He's asking if we can see the chat on YouTube. I don't see anything.
Tell him to say no gloves.
Unless he's commenting. There's a difference between commenting and chatting. Like, he's on his phone, so I don't know how that works.
Question.
exactly.
I'm trying to share this. How do I share this? I'm trying to share it, and it's telling me this. Right post or copy link.
Oh yeah, you do this. You go right post,
All right, we're trying to
and then
figure
you go
things out,
to
guys.
tap to change. Like you want to
Shout outs to you, Chris, while they're
So
trying
where
to
do you
figure
go?
that out. What's up, bro? Grocery from H&B.
timeline and bada bing, bada boom, post. Realest post in the room.
How are you doing?
Tony, you might want to move the mic just a little bit. It looks like it's trying to give you something slapped in the face. There you go. Just make sure it doesn't
This
fall
thing's
in.
loose.
Yeah, just make sure it doesn't fall.
Loose.
Toying it up, bro. Toying it up.
Those things a bunch of haters. There's being a bunch of haters.
Couple haters.
Make sure it stays. Let me know if you need any help before we get started on the KCYP recording. Chris, I don't see any comments or anything like that. So if you want, go ahead and just post on our Facebook page. If you follow us on Facebook, if you want us to talk about something, and then just go back to the video after that.
Oh, we can just call you right now.
You just call. Yeah, but I don't want to take any on-air calls. No thanks, sir. No thanks. Not today, okay? Today's we're just going to talk about business and what's best for business, all right?
I just want him to say for me. F that guy. He called in.
Yeah. Let me fix my hair a little bit. There we go. I look good. Tony, your hair looks good. Jay, flawless as always.
Thank you.
All right, so we got our one viewer on. We're about to get this shit going. Do you need help there, Tony? Is it good? Is it
I
steady?
don't know. Can you give me a
Check it out real quick. Hold on.
Give me an evaluation on it.
I will give you an evaluation.
I'm at the edge. I'm at the edge.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you don't pull it or jerk it, if you know what I mean.
Jerking, as in moving the forceful object.
Well, anywho, let's go ahead. Jay said he was going to volunteer to throw us on the air. So let's
As long
get
as we
that
don't get
going.
thrown off the air.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, Jay, you want me to give you the countdown?
Yeah, give me a few seconds. We're just shooting the link to some friends that
All
are
right.
unfortunately not believers of Facebook, but are believers of Armbar.
For sure.
Just like Mrs. Matook, Liz. KCYP, the city, Mission McAllen.
All right, let me know. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do it on 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome, everyone, to Armbar, the Valley's only home for wrestling radio. I am Jay, the WrestlePedia, alongside Tony the Machine and Mike the Biz. It is Wednesday, July 20th, 2016. I don't know about you, but yesterday when I had my door kicked open for whatever reason in my living room, I felt a draft. Did you guys feel a draft in your respective homes?
I felt a huge breeze.
Yes. Some shouldn't have been said, like certain wrestlers that I know. But, I'm just thinking, why did it have to come out to this? I mean, I figured some of these guys, I think it's just a mess to begin with. I think they need to redo the draft. But
Think so?
I think so.
Tony didn't like the draft, guys. Do you hear that?
The factions were broken up.
Some of the factions were broken up,
I did
yeah.
not like that one bit.
There were some things about the draft you didn't like personally, Mike, that leads to your upcoming show.
Couple of things that we can talk about the draft, but you know what?
Couple things.
Before we get started on that draft, let's talk about the main event on Monday Night Raw, which was Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, a one-on-one for the WWE Championship. Your thoughts on that, guys?
Ultimately, since it was going to be the last Raw before the draft, the last time we'd see every WWE superstar in the building at the same time on a Monday night. What a way to go with a WWE Championship match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. But what about the fact of how it ended?
Controversial ending, Tony.
I mean, I knew that. Okay, yes, both shoulders were pinned to the mat on Raw. But if you notice, he hooked that leg when he did the top rope suplex. He hooked that leg up so he can, that's a classic. That's a classic pinfall, because I remember that there was a champion. It reminded me of a championship match. It was with Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T for the championship. And see, Jarrett had him on a top rope suplex, and Booker T countered it into a pin, hooked his leg, and got the 1-2-3 on that.
Yeah,
this one was a very controversial match.
It was, but ultimately, at the same time, it led to what would happen 24 hours later on SmackDown, a rematch for the WWE Championship on the one and only Tuesday night SmackDown, where every WWE superstar was in the building at the same time, but for good reason. I mean, Raw was good because of the title match, but, man, was SmackDown, it was a blowaway show for a lot of reasons. The draft, Tony, you had your opinions on it. Mike, you had your opinions. Isaac, if you're watching this, I'm sure you had your opinions.
Or rant.
Yes. An epic Jim Cornette-style rant for the man that we call the Architect. But ultimately, as far as Raw's main event, I mean, I thought it was a good ending because, hey, it's not often we're going to see Ambrose and Rollins wrestle on Raw against one another, for their respective reasons, guys.
It's going to be quite a while. Since they're going to be in different brands. But who knows? It could probably be Raw versus SmackDown. Actually, a Raw wrestling a SmackDown wrestler. I mean, that's probably going to happen too.
Yeah.
They need to shake things up. Like Vince McMahon said, I don't care if you have to break the law. Do what you got to do. Be ruthless. I could just see him, that's what he said,
Mm-hmm.
Got to shake things up a bit.
Exactly. So, yeah, we don't want to. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, this is maybe going to be 4 years or so. Maybe the Shield will reunite. I mean, some new factions. Finn Balor being drafted to Raw. I mean, that's big. And he's been in the NXT for, 2 years? So
More than 2 years this December.
He has some history with the Bullet Club, the club. He might be the new leader taking charge for Anderson and Gallows. So I could see big things. I could see a rivalry with Balor and Rollins. That would be a great match. I could see a championship match right there.
Battle of the first ever NXT champion against the longest reigning NXT champion. I definitely could see that. I mean, but ultimately you guys see how it plays out because we still got Battleground Sunday, the last pay-per-view before the draft really goes into effect.
Exactly.
But ultimately, I mean, overall, I mean, you had your opinions of it. Let's talk about some of the draftees.
Oh man, number one. Who was number one?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Is anyone surprised there?
No.
As well, since Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley, since Raw had seniority over SmackDown, they were going to get the first draft pick. It was like, really? I mean, come on. We saw that miles and miles away. But Seth Rollins overall, overall the first draft pick, can't blame him. Look at the calendar year that he had in 2015 and the comeback he's had so far this year.
I was amazed about John Cena being on SmackDown. It's been a while that he has been on SmackDown. That's where he first started back in 2002, right?
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself down here, guy.
I
Cena's a little
know.
more down the bracket.
I know, but I can't get an order. I don't know everything in order.
I got it right here, bro. Don't worry. Yeah. We'll talk about the order. No, but anyway.
1 second.
Tony's about to throw me through a table, guys. Sorry. But anyway.
I'm just going to,
like
the announcers, I'm just going to, skedaddle out of there.
A bear hug, maybe. But anyway, okay, so now that we talked about the number 1 draft pick, who was the number 2 draft pick?
Number 2 draft pick, but number 1 overall for SmackDown, current WWE champion Dean Ambrose. And you know what?
Yep.
I thought it was very appropriate. SmackDown's always been, no pun intended, the blue-collar brand. Why not have a blue-collar champion as your first draft pick?
I was very surprised when Dean Ambrose was not picked number 1, actually. Surprisingly, I know Raw gets the first pick, right? And I kind of hated the fact that for every 2 SmackDown picks that Raw gets 3, because it made no sense. But at the same time, if you think about it, Raw's the bigger show, so they need a bigger roster, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself when I'm watching this, I was like, okay, respectable Seth Rollins number 1, but Dean Ambrose, he's your WWE champion. If you want to be the number 1 brand, you want to have the champion on your show, no matter what. I don't care who the champion is. So it kind of upset me a little bit, that they didn't, Stephanie McMahon or Mick Foley didn't go out of their way to pick Dean Ambrose as their number 1 pick, because he is their guy for, right now, at least. He is the company guy. So.
He was an authority figure, too.
Yep. So, I don't know. You remember who the 3rd draft pick was, Tony? And this was a Raw pick. This was right after Dean Ambrose. It's a female. The first female draft pick. Charlotte, yes. Woo! Charlotte was the first and number 3 draft pick.
Why am I not surprised?
Ultimately, I was surprised by this because last week Raw had announced that they were going to have the Cruiserweight division.
Yep.
I thought it would have made sense, hey, have the Cruiserweight division exclusive to SmackDown, have the women's division on Raw. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. The Cruiserweight division on Raw, have the women's division on SmackDown, but now they're going to have apparently the Cruiserweight division and now the women's division with Charlotte at the helm on Raw. It's like, wow, you got 2 special divisions on one show. Is that good for business, or do you feel that's a little bit maybe overkill?
I don't think so at all. I think that watching the Cruiserweight Classic coming up, and that once that tournament's said and done and they start to push all these new cruiserweights in, it's going to be a good thing for Raw. Especially if you guys remember the WCW days. I would watch the first hour of WCW and then I would just swap over to WWE right afterwards. So it's very new to a lot of people, especially the younger generation, I want to say, because they haven't been able to experience the high flyers, the technical wrestling abilities that a lot of these wrestlers around the world are coming in to do. And it's exciting to see them. I remember watching matches with Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, and all in their prime, and some of the most exciting matches that you'll ever see. So coming forward to fast forward to 2016 and seeing what they have to bring with the Cruiserweight Classic and all these new guys that are coming in, I'm excited to see it.
Especially with talent like Cedric Alexander and Kota Ibushi, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Ho-Ho-Loon or whatever his name is. Ho-Ho-Loon. That's my guy just because he's like the smallest one out of all of them. And I want to see like the most out of him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. Let's go to the number 4 draft pick. This is SmackDown's draft pick. Do you remember the club leader?
No, the band.
Yeah. He's phenomenal.
AJ
Styles, number 4, guys.
Couldn't have picked a more phenomenal draft pick for SmackDown.
Raw was actually surprised.
That's very well balanced.
Yeah, I think they were very surprised that AJ Styles was picked like in the top. He was the first bracket. He was in the first bracket of the WWE draft this year, which was not a surprise to me. This guy was brought in back in February, a little after January, after the Royal Rumble, and he has exceeded my expectations. I never really watching him in TNA or shows like Ring of Honor or Japan. Obviously, also he made a name for himself outside, and I had never really been a fan, but ever since he came in, you know, I have a brand new respect for this guy who just, you know, he's 38 years old and he's wrestling like he's a 25-year-old. And he's still got it, man.
He's got incredible physical. He has great physical attributes.
Yep.
He's got a lot of agility for being 38. I mean, the man made his business break, his biggest wrestling break in Japan. I mean, he was a 12-year veteran for TNA, and then he went to Japan and then Ring of Honor. I mean, this guy's done it all. I mean, him going to, I mean, it could have been, I mean, it would have been better if he was to go to Raw, but SmackDown needs to be well balanced with top stars. So I could see him being a future champion. I can see him being a mid card, and then from mid card to the major champion. I mean, like everybody else, you got to stand in the line, you know.
And he's put in his time already. I mean,
yeah,
the guy's had his
great. So he's wrestled. He also wrestled. He had Kurt Angle back in TNA. Mm-hmm. He's wrestled Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is one of the greatest of all time. Like he says in the back of his trunk.
Yep, I mean, the GOAT.
Exactly.
The dream match he had with John Cena at Money in the Bank, headlining events in Japan and in the U.S. would have been with Hiroshi Tanahashi or with the Icon Sting 1 year at Bound for Glory in 2009.
And plus, he wrestled at WrestleMania, and he made his debut in Royal Rumble. How big can that be?
Yeah, he did. He went past NXT in a time where WWE's bringing a new talent and putting him through NXT. Styles didn't have to go through NXT. Straight to the main roster.
He's that big of a star.
Yeah.
The only other guy I think that should have been doing that was Samoa Joe, honestly. He should have skipped the minor leagues is what I like to call it. But anywho.
And speaking of Samoa Joe, he is wrestling tonight on NXT against another machine, the War Machine Rhino, in tonight's main event.
Ooh.
And to my friend Frank, if you're watching Armbar or watching tonight's Lucha Underground, tonight's the season finale, and you mentioned the Cruiserweights earlier. Great Cruiserweight main event, but a match that could main event anything, whether it be Lucha Underground or any other show. You got Rey Mysterio and Prince Puma. That one's definitely must-see TV. Definitely got that on my DVR. As well as also the Monster Matanza Cueto defending the Lucha Underground title against Pentagon Jr. And then the Trios Championship. You know, Lucha Libre is very well known for Trios matches. You got Johnny Mundo, who you guys remember as John Morrison, Johnny Nitro. Him taking on him along with PJ Black, who you remember as Justin Gabriel, and Jack Evans, all defending the Trios titles against Aerostar, Phoenix, and Drago. Those six guys, man, if WWE decided to sign them or bring a couple of those guys back, that's already a good cruiserweight division right there. And I'm sure they're going to tear it up tonight on Lucha Underground.
Hey, Ray Ramirez, we're giving you a shout out. He wants a shout out, guys. Happy belated birthday, man. Happy 14th. And thank you for listening to Armbar. Keep listening to us. We got a lot. It's all about professional wrestling. And maybe it doesn't know Armbar. It's all wrestling. We're talking about the draft. So if you guys we can bring you up to speed on the drafts. What number are we at right now, Michael?
We're going to number 5, which is Raw's last draft pick for the first round. And that was we already talked about him, actually, coming from NXT, the longest reigning NXT champion.
Yes, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, yes. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I got to say, personally, I wanted to see him on SmackDown, but they got the confidence for him to be on Raw. Hey, so be it.
I was just surprised that he was a first-round draft pick, to be honest. I mean, I'm surprised and I'm not surprised because of the amount of talent that he has. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, you could think that he would have, they would have picked John Cena or someone like Brock Lesnar over Finn Balor, right? But no, he was respectively number 3 on Raw's pick. So
number 5 overall.
Number 5 overall, but he was Raw's 3rd draft pick. So, shout outs to Finn Balor out there.
Yes, congratulations, my friend.
New leader of the club.
Possibly, but great to see the Demon on Monday night, starting next Monday night.
It's going to be interesting
to
see.
There's one Demon. There's another Demon.
Yeah, the original Demon, the Demon Kane, right?
We'll get to where he goes later on. But ultimately, hey, that was awesome to see Finn Balor. And then, of course, we had
round 2.
Round 2.
Okay. And this is Raw's first pick for round 2. And this is your guy, the guy, Roman Reigns.
And all you haters out there, that's too bad because I love Roman Reigns. Yes, I don't like what he did, but business is
Hey,
business.
Brock Lesnar guy. Well, anyway,
I'm both, man. I am both. Okay. Yes, Roman Reigns is on Raw, so you can believe that.
All right, so SmackDown's round 2 first round draft pick would be, my favorite wrestler and the top Make-A-Wish Foundation ever.
And to
By the
the
way,
haters,
I got the order already, Mike.
Oh yeah, I gotta hear that also. I'm
And
going
to-
to the same website.
and to the haters, I'm part of the C Nation. And if you can't see that, then you can't see me.
I mean, I was surprised to not see John Cena go to Raw because he's just been the face of the company for the past 13 years already.
Yeah.
So for John Cena to go back to his roots, go back to SmackDown, I think it's a big thing. And since John Cena is he's doing a lot of things outside of the WWE. He's hosting shows. He's making shows, movies.
Hosted the ESPYs last
He's
week.
doing it all, and you know what? Even he said it himself. He's like, if I can do this and still, wrestle full time for the most part, he's like, anyone can do it. And
He's a big humanitarian.
and he's a big face for the company, like we said. And
Still never understood the hate for Cena. So
well,
You know what I was going to tell you, too? I think he's a bigger and better humanitarian than The Rock. The Rock's doing movies, and he wrestles, one match a year? This guy wrestles more than The Rock and does movies at the same time.
do we count the Rock's match? And notice I'm saying match with Eric Rowan at WrestleMania as an actual match. I still consider his last match to be with him and John Cena at WrestleMania 29.
you know what?
3
Now
years
that you
ago.
mentioned that lasted a whole 3 minutes, right, or something.
I think that was a very big upset.
6 seconds.
Yeah, that was a
real
big
quick.
upset. I mean, how dare they do that to Eric Rowan by burying him like that at WrestleMania? That's humiliating.
Well, if you're gonna get buried by anyone, it might as well be The Rock, right?
On the grandest stage of
I mean, yeah, in Dallas, at the biggest WrestleMania ever, right? You could say that, Daniel Bryan at one point, he lost the world title in less than 5 seconds at WrestleMania,
18 seconds. To be
and
exact,
he
but
was
no
still
one's
one of the
counting.
biggest stars of all time. So you can't. Eric Rowan's story is not set in stone
Look at
because he's still
look
young.
at him.
Guy.
He's huge. He's got the physical
He's a
attractions.
beast.
I just felt that was just a waste, but
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
think so. I think it's a waste. I still think it's a waste.
I look at John Cena being on SmackDown similar to when Undertaker was on SmackDown for years, when it was in vogue to either jump to Raw or hope that this guy got traded to Raw from SmackDown in the draft.
Yep.
Undertaker's the one guy that never left, and I see Cena kind of filling that role of the
Yeah.
Undertaker
Mhm.
as the standard bearer of SmackDown.
I agree, sir.
so who is next?
Goldberg. No, we're just kidding.
going. Well, this
God,
man,
I wish.
this man actually wrestled against Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. He's known as the Beast Incarnate.
Brock Lesnar.
Dun, 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 dun.
I hope your friend in Michigan's watching.
Yes. Corey from Michigan. Hope you're watching.
Yeah,
Why is that
now
the
he can't bash my awesome singing skills over here. But yeah, Tony
I
was
still have nightmares from
was
that.
humming
Not
the,
as many.
the theme song for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, who just got off his victory over in UFC 200 against Mark Hunt, which is very controversial now.
Yeah.
You want to mention why?
Because Brock Lesnar unfortunately had tested positive for performance enhancement drugs, and now that fight might actually be overturned as a no contest or a victory for Hunt, who's now demanding for Lesnar's
Paycheck.
payday from UFC 200,
Yep.
or he possibly may leave the UFC. But I don't know, man. But
Well, he's got other outlets to fight in, basically, anyway. So, I mean, I'm not sure what to say about the whole Brock Lesnar situation. I mean, it would be, for WWE to not do something about it, and they did something to Roman Reigns is very hypocritical. I mean, we still haven't heard anything on Brock Lesnar and if he's going to be suspended because he is still under contract with WWE. I don't know what his terms are with UFC are, but Roman Reigns was suspended. He violated a policy, right?
Yes, he did.
So that has to go for Brock Lesnar also, especially since he was wrestling in the UFC or fighting in the UFC, excuse me.
But still, it would set a bad precedent if they just allowed him to get away with murder just because he's a part-time guy.
They
$2.5
shouldn't do it.
billion for $700,000 to Mark Hunt.
They shouldn't do it, though. That's all I'm going to say. Is I don't know what to say. I don't know the full story with Brock Lesnar. I'm still a fan, just like I am with Roman Reigns. I'm not going to,
We all make mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes, and the guy he had to lose a little weight also, from what I remember.
30 pounds.
30
he had to
pounds.
lose
To cut the
He
heavyweight.
was weighing like 280 in WWE. 290.
295.
He was almost a 300 pounder, right? And look at the weight he lost. So he might have had to have some help to do it. So, anywho, let's move forward. Brock Lesnar was the number 8 pick for Raw. Let's go to the number 9 pick which would be SmackDown. Second pick, which would
I
be
hear voices in my head.
I hear voices in my head. Okay, anyway, so Randy Orton, Jay's trying to clean out his ears over here.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
Quit your day job, guys.
No, I'm not. I need that paycheck. But anyway,
We all need that money.
So Randy Orton, who's been out for the better part of 9 months already for an injury, and he probably could have been back by now. I just don't think the WWE wants him back just yet.
You knew I've been tasting that match. You knew I was able to predict that match. You knew it, and I was well calculated that you knew that was going to happen. I had a wild guess. I had that coming for months that it was going to be in the SummerSlam card, that these two are going to face each other eventually. Remember, I had that conversation with you a while back, saying it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus SummerSlam, the Viper versus the Beast. This was like months before they announced it. I'd
heard, but I thought, I don't know. I mean, a part of me is, I'm not going to lie, still not sold completely on the match, but we'll see how it happens. And now that Brock and Orton's happening, it's a one-time only thing, because it's not like they're going to have a rematch next month, the following month in September, because by that point, that's when they're doing the brand division pay-per-views.
It reminds me of Cena versus Undertaker WrestleMania. That was supposed to happen too. See, I could taste that too.
We still got next year.
I feel like I got some good luck in me. Hopefully, we got some more match predictions. I could see a Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 33.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see one day, and I know this might possibly, not the Trump Lesnar and Orton for you, but Brock Lesnar against Samoa Joe. Once Joe's
or Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns.
Who's
the real Samoan?
Battle of the Samoans.
That would be a very good match to see, in my opinion. I would love to see Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns.
That might be even as hard hitting as Reigns and Lesnar at WrestleMania 34.
You know, Shaquille O'Neal offering Big Show a match at
WrestleMania. Won't be the first time Big Show has wrestled a celebrity in Orlando at WrestleMania.
He's going to go against Shaq next year.
I mean, they had a rivalry. Didn't they have a rivalry on Raw a long time ago?
They did have something.
It was with Chris Jericho when they were tag teams, and then it was at Royal Rumble. No, it was at WrestleMania. It was at WrestleMania. Now it's at.
They want to make something happen.
Is it me or like? Okay, I don't think Big Show's 7 feet tall. I think he's less than 7 feet tall.
I think Shaq's like 7'1" or 7'2". I think Shaq's big.
Because I think Big Show's maybe 6'11" and a quarter or 6'11" and a half. I think he shrunk. And I think that Kane, he towered over Kane like nobody's business. Kane has to be about 6'7" 3/4 or 6'8".
About 6'9", 6'10" also.
Yeah.
But okay, going forward, let's talk about.
Sorry about that.
Let's talk about Raw's round 2, last final draft pick for round 2. Do you remember who? It's a tag team of sorts. They like unicorns and they love to eat bootios. Balls. No. Tony balls over here.
Well, the tag team division's obviously now on Raw with the tag team champions, the New Day, or the WWE World Tag Team Champions. Now on Raw, but a good start for Raw.
Soon to be your longest reigning WWE tag champions of all time, apparently.
Already passing
They're going to pass Kendrick and
London.
In London, yeah, which was a surprise to me because those guys are. I mean, they're not no names in the business, but they're wrestlers that haven't been there for a pretty long time, aside from Kendrick, who was helping out in NXT for a little while.
And he's in the Cruiserweight Classics.
And he's doing, that's going to be interesting to see,
on the WWE Network.
Because Kendrick wrestled down here a couple times for NWA's Wrestling Revolution. So I'm just, upset to say that I never got to go watch, that match.
But Danny Ramone Danny Ramone defeated him.
Really?
Yes.
Danny Ramone's getting one.
By the way,
shout outs to you.
Shout out to you, man. New South Texas heavyweight champion defeated Shooter Roberts this past Friday.
Yes, sir. Shout outs to Mr. Cherry Ramone.
There'll be a rematch this Friday at Casino Ray. It's going to be Danny Ramones versus Shooter Roberts. And there's a rematch clause. Shooter gets a rematch clause like every other wrestling organization. So let's see who wins this one. But That should be very exciting. Getting back to the draft. Sorry about that.
All right, so we're gonna skip the commercial break, right, and go and skip the match also because we're not really talking about any matches today.
No.
We're really just going over all the draft picks because there's so many. Okay.
That's all I cared about during last
Yeah,
night's
I mean,
draft.
no one cared about the wrestling matches. No one even really cares about Battleground except for maybe the main event that's coming up because there's only going to be maybe 2 good matches in this coming pay-per-view, in my opinion.
Thankfully, we got the WWE Network for just how much again?
$9.99, and if you have a
free.
Fire Stick, you get it for free. Yeah.
By the way, which you can get it at Amazon.
Yeah, you can get
Yes.
you can buy one off Amazon.com. But anyway, so Raw's third round first pick, first one would be a guy that's been feuding with another guy for so long. We're just tired of their feud already. Who is the guy? He's from Canada.
Is he the underdog from the underground?
He's the underdog from the underground.
Sami Zayn.
And he got drafted to
Monday Night
Monday
Raw.
Night Raw, which was a surprise to me. I honestly thought he was going to end up on SmackDown, actually.
Especially since SmackDown, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan talked about how there was going to be about the underdogs as well. And I thought, well, what's Zayn's nickname? But yeah, definitely.
El Generico.
Not that one, but
El Generico. Okay, so Sami Zayn, got to give him props for making one of the top. He made number 11 on the draft pick, which I thought he was going to be in the top 20 regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, I was surprised he was picked so early. I was surprised he was picked before Kevin Owens, to be honest. But let's go to number 12, which will be round 3 SmackDown.
Kevin Owens got
drafted to Raw, but
I
we'll
thought
talk
he
about
was
that
drafted
later.
from SmackDown.
He was drafted a little later.
He
So-
still has to deal with Michael Cole's commentary.
So number 12, SmackDown's round 3 draft pick would be the new face of fear. Boom,
Run.
boom, boom, boom.
Buzzards.
Run.
Bray Wyatt.
Who I was telling Tony earlier, he looks so lean now. It's ridiculous
Insane.
how much weight he lost. He doesn't have a gut anymore.
No, he's
He must be doing some of that DDP yoga or something like that. But anyway,
Or he's chasing the buzzards.
he's chasing the buzzards, or he's working out at the Wyatt compound. I don't know what's going on there, but
Or-
he's lost a significant amount of weight, and
Or deleted some weight.
he might be taking some of Vince's advice and trying to make those gains. I don't know what's going on, but Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, unfortunately, is no more. Well, I want to say no more, but they're
Not
just-
technically.
Somewhat.
Braun Strowman, one of the biggest faces of destruction, is on Raw.
Yep, he's going to go to Raw and one of the later draft picks only on the WWE Network, I think, right? No, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
So let's go on to the number 13 draft pick, which is a Raw draft pick, and we have another female, the boss.
Sasha Banks.
I don't know this
That's
dude.
how it goes.
I don't even know how that goes. It's just going to be a show of us trying to mimic everyone's theme songs, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It would also been cool if you had done the Sasha Banks. Oh, sorry.
I can't even, The little,
How it does with her
Stephanie
hips.
McMahon did it. It was like a little hip sway or something.
I was just
that.
like, Stephanie, don't do
Yeah,
that.
no. Yeah, I was
Maybe-
like,
Maybe you'll show up to Armbar one day with the plastic glasses like Sasha.
you never know. Maybe she'll be my Halloween costume this year. I'll wear the glasses. I'll get a pink wig, and I'll just wear like a couple of skin tight clothing over here. If you know what I mean.
You're starting to scare me, man. You're starting to scare me, man.
Hey,
This is the peach.
Run.
run. Yeah. Yes, agreed with Mr. J here. Okay, so I was just kidding. None of that was going down. All right.
I hope you're kidding.
Right. Anyway, so let's go back to number 14 draft pick, which is one of Jay's favorite female wrestlers. She's the Irish what?
Last kicker.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah. Well,
It
Becky Lynch gets
Becky-
drafted in the 3rd round as number 14 or whatever for SmackDown, and to my surprise, I thought she was going to be drafted a lot lower than what she actually did. I thought it would have been Paige or I don't know, Naomi or somebody else, because I know there's a lot of Becky Lynch fans out there, but I don't know. I feel like she's still getting a lot of heat, at least from like the other people backstage. At least you know what I mean. Like she's having that feud with Natalya right now,
Yeah.
and just nobody likes her. Like she gets into feuds with everyone. Like
Becky's had all her friends turn on her,
Yeah,
just like
everyone.
Charlotte's turned on all her friends.
I'm pretty sure when Bayley gets her call up, she's gonna turn on Becky Lynch.
I can't see Bailey being heel though.
You never know. You never know.
Never know.
You never know. So,
But when you notice in the top 20 draft picks, the first 3 were the women who helped out with the women's, not divas, revolution.
True.
Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch.
That's very true. And 2 of them are going to Raw, and 1 is on SmackDown.
But my thought is, well, if Charlotte's taking the women's title with her to Raw, how's Becky Lynch going to get a shot at the title? She's on SmackDown.
That's a good point. We'll see how it goes.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ, sorry to cut you off, man, but I need you to call those beautiful letters here now that we're at the 30-minute mark, all right?
KCYP, the city, Mission McAllen. 97.7 FM.
That was good.
Okay, and we're back, and you're listening to 97.7 FM, this city. This is Armbar Radio with Tony, Jay, and Mike over here.
I have just received an email from the anonymous general manager of Michigan. That's our buddy Corey from Michigan, who's asked Mike, please stop singing.
Just for that, I'm going to keep singing. Sorry.
Sorry, Corey.
Buddy. Sorry, Corey. Yeah, I'm going to keep singing. And
At least do John Cena.
Yeah,
He did that earlier.
Okay, anyway, so going back, you're listening to Armbar Radio, 97.7 FM, the city, the Valley's only wrestling radio talk show here in Mission and McAllen. And if you guys are listening, first-time listeners, thank you for listening. We hope that you guys are enjoying what you're hearing so far. Right now, we're talking about the WWE Draft, and we want to continue talking about that. But let's talk about how you can listen to us in other ways. If you're not listening to us on the radio, which is 97.7 FM down here in the Rio Grande Valley, you can listen to us via the TuneIn Radio app on the iOS or the Android App Store, where all you have to do is download the app and then you search KCYP as the search handle, and you'll find the station. All you gotta do is follow the station, and boom, you can listen to us. You can listen to us on their website, thecity97.7.com, or if you have a YouTube account, you can actually search us. Just search KCYP Armbar on YouTube, and you can go ahead and find our channel URL. It's the Run DMC logo type looking thing,
Yes.
and it'll say Armbar on it. And then, of course, you can.
Excuse me,
we
sorry,
have a guest here, and then from there you can actually see us or live, because we do an actual live podcast on YouTube. So right now we're doing it live. We have maybe a couple viewers watching. We usually run the show in the afternoon, depending. So right now, if you guys are watching, thank you for watching. But let's go back to the draft.
Before we do that, of course, thanks to Corey from Michigan as well as Frank from McAllen for tuning in. Now let's get back to the draft and hopefully some more singing from Mike the Miz.
Mike the Miz.
Not the Miz as in the Miz, but as in the music. I don't know.
Okay, so we talked about Becky Lynch being the last draft pick. Okay, she was the second pick for round 3. Right now we're gonna head into round 4, or actually no, is this round 4? No, this is round. I think we're still in round 3. I'm confused. Okay, anyway, so
wait. Back to the order.
We're on round 4 already. I'm sorry, I was looking at SmackDown's list for whatever reason. Sorry guys, the draft was for, like we said, for every 3 SmackDown or for every 3 Raw, you get 2 SmackDowns. So we're going back
3 for 2 special.
Yeah, we're going back to Raw, which is their 4th round draft pick. This is their 4th round, and the first person to get drafted is No?
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Sounds like the Right to Censor theme song.
No, okay, hold on.
You stopped me.
It's the countdown.
Y2J, Chris Jericho. Well, you could have said break the walls down.
Yeah, I was going to say break the walls down.
Stupid idiot!
Okay, anyway, sorry, Corey. Anyway, Chris Jericho, longtime veteran, calls himself the GOAT, the greatest of all time, very accomplished, one of the most colorful champions in WWE history. He's held every single major title. I mean, he's probably a Grand Slam.
First ever undisputed champion.
Yeah, first ever undisputed. Has he held the United States Championship under WWE?
Neither
WWE
or WWE.
Okay, so he's the Triple Crown champ then. So anyway,
he is Grand Slam because he did hold the European title, even though it was for 1 night.
Oh yeah, and they merged all those titles at one point, I think. So anyway, Chris Jericho gets number 14 for Raw. That's Raw's 4th draft pick, number 1.
Next is
I'll let Tony announce SmackDown, which would be number 15. SmackDown's first draft pick on round 4.
Let's see. It's not American Alpha?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it here, actually. Hold on.
I'm seeing number one. I'm seeing it right here,
They-
right,
they
side by
messed up
side,
on
side by side on Chris Jericho. It says American Alpha.
What? I don't see no Chris.
I'm on to WrestleZone.com.
I'm not on WrestleZone. I'm using another website. I'm not on.
What is the name of the website?
It's called. I can't tell you. I'm not gonna say it over the air. Okay, I don't want to get any copyright infringements over here or whatever like that. But okay, so okay. Anyway, the next round pick was going to be your Intercontinental Champion for SmackDown.
In the words of Tony Chimmel, the Miz.
And I think the numbering's off here because I'm missing number 15 actually.
See, that's the thing.
I see
Wouldn't have
16.
been from Raw the U.S. champion Rusev?
I'm not seeing.
Wasn't he
it
drafted
here.
before the Miz?
He might have been, but from what I'm seeing here, okay, look, I got Rusev at number 16 actually.
Gosh.
I got 14 Chris Jericho, 15 would have been the Miz, but I have the Miz as 16. I think someone just messed up on the numbers over here. But anyway, Miz is number 15 technically for SmackDown. Any thoughts on the Miz, guys?
I think he should be on Raw, and I think the U.S. Championship should be on SmackDown.
I don't agree. I think, if they already have the World Heavyweight Champion, why not add another legitimate championship to SmackDown? Because think about it, they only got 2 championships on SmackDown. For now. World Heavyweight title, Intercontinental Championship, okay? So we'll see how everything plays out at Battleground.
Cruiserweight Championship, God willing.
It's going to happen, but that's not set in stone at the moment, right? They announced that they're going to bring the division.
SmackDown Light Heavyweight Championship. Remember they used to have that.
Yeah, they did. Like,
But
When did that retire? What year did that retire?
I want to say in 2002 when they pretty much supplanted the light heavyweight championship for the cruiserweight championship. But then again, the light heavyweight division in what was then the World Wrestling Federation did not exactly do well like the cruiserweight division did in WCW.
What year was that one established?
Which one?
The light heavyweight championship.
December of 1997.
Or 8, yeah.
Taka Michinoku was the first light
Yeah, he
heavyweight
was.
champion against Brian Christopher. But yeah, just that division, unfortunately, there was just not a whole lot of emphasis on it like WCW did with the cruiserweight division. Heck, I think WWE had more emphasis on the cruiserweight division than they did the light heavyweight division. So,
How many of y'all are keeping up with the Cruiserweight Classics?
I am. I can't wait to watch it tonight.
exactly, man. Just more matches in the Cruiserweight Classic. And just ultimately, who is the best cruiserweight? We will find out on the Cruiserweight Classic. We saw last week with Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander. Still got plenty to come, including also Brian Kendrick and Tajiri, a couple of Cruiserweight classics themselves.
I like the lingo, right?
Hey, they're
No pun intended.
Tajiri was one of my favorite cruiserweights, and still
He is, yeah, he was. He I think he could have accomplished more if he would have stayed in
Kendrick.
WWE, but
Yeah, Kendrick never won the cruiserweight title, unfortunately, but he did win the X Division Championship in TNA, which that's kind of like your cruiserweight title, except
He's won the Cruiserweight before.
no, it's the tag titles.
Oh,
You're probably thinking of Paul London, who held the cruiserweight title.
Yes.
okay.
But yeah,
Okay. So let's go on. Rusev gets number 16.
gosh,
Anshka.
Crash. Okay, so yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Rusev, but he's going to be on Raw.
Sing
That's
his
it.
theme music for me.
What's that?
I just know the intro.
Corey is shaking right now. Maybe a little Hulk Hogan over here. He's gonna do you, and he's gonna throw Mike to the ropes and do a big bootleg drop.
Gonna give us a big boot, probably. Yeah, that's all right though. So okay, so that was the last draft pick for round 4. We're gonna head into round 5, and round 5's first draft pick for Raw is a guy that's been feuding with Sami Zayn for a long, long time.
Is his initials KO?
His initials are KO.
What is Corey saying? Corey, I think is saying something.
He's probably gonna stop watching it.
No, he's still watching. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, he even mentioned that technically Jushin Thunder Liger was the first light heavyweight champion before WWE brought that title to prominence. It was a title that was only exclusively defended in Japan. Because at one point, that's when they had the big tournament in Japan where they unified all the light heavyweight belts. And at one point, Ultimate Dragon had all.
Oh yeah, he had 15 titles on it.
One of them was
right?
it wasn't the light heavyweight, it was the junior heavyweight title.
But that was still a WWF belt, no? Wasn't
Yeah.
it, or something like that.
But since it was brought onto WCW television, of course, WCW was not allowed to acknowledge that portion of the 8 championship
That's
title.
pretty crazy. I think
Yeah, because they're
Dragon was the only one to ever
competing
hold that many
against
belts at once.
But yeah, definitely.
in competitions.
Yeah, I mean, nor do you want to throw away belts on TV like when the 100 place did that. But hey, that's all past.
No comment there, right? Okay, so okay, Kevin Owens was the number 18 draft pick, Raw's 5th round, first draft pick on that.
Yeah.
So I was surprised, and like I mentioned earlier, that he was as late in the draft as he was. But considering what he had accomplished within the first couple of years, being their NXT champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion, he beat John Cena in his first main roster match. So I don't know why and this list has grades over here. They gave KO a C-. I don't know why.
What for? Why do they put grades?
Yeah, I don't know why this website has grades, but they put KO
grades on like why people are getting drafted.
Rusev was the B- actually.
But why are they putting grades? Are they doing that performance wise or the draft picks?
Or probably the draft picks, yeah. But I mean, anywho, okay, yeah. I don't want to stir anyone's buttons over here. Okay. So Kevin Owens was number 18. Let's go to number 19, which is SmackDown's 5th round draft pick, and that would be someone. He's an NXT guy, but he got called up after WrestleMania. They like to call him the Lone Wolf.
Baron Corbin.
A
lot of potential on Baron Corbin.
Okay, that one I can't really.
Corey's like probably shaking right now.
That one I can't mimic at all.
He did say, "Stop it."
No.
But I'm picturing him saying it in the mock Vince McMahon voice.
Okay,
he's like this
cat.
You stop it! You see, I got a mullet here.
So Baron Corbin gets number one.
Sorry, Corey.
Surprisingly,
Corey,
a high spot boosts a newcomer from NXT and adds a feel of the SmackDown, which is still, people are still going to call it the B show. But I mean, I think it's a good opportunity for Baron Corbin to show what he's got. I mean, throwing him, he's one that fell under the spotlight, just like I think who else? Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
And they mentioned this. I think they mentioned this on SmackDown.
Apollo Crews is going to.
We'll get there. Don't worry. He's. We'll get there.
We got plenty of time.
We actually only got like 10 minutes to finish this off afterwards, so we're just gonna have to kind of breeze through those guys. A little less. We got 8 minutes actually. So let's just go after Baron Corbin. Let's go back to Raw's second draft pick on round 5, which would be a tag team, and bada boom, bada bing, or bada bing, bada boom.
Guys in the room.
How you doing?
How you
Couple
doing?
haters.
One of Raw's new's favorite tag team,
Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass.
Come on, do a theme song.
Okay, that one I can't do.
Yeah.
I can't mimic the intro to that. But anywho, okay.
How you doing?
So, congrats to them. I think they're going to do a lot of good things there. Hopefully, we'll see what's up. And I hope that Enzo doesn't end up getting another concussion.
I'd love to see New Day versus Enzo and Cass just one time. Just not a fatal.
I can see that.
Not a fatal 4-way or triple threat tag. Just those two teams.
That'd be a good WrestleMania match too.
The promos would be epic.
Excuse me, fellas. Had some golden chicken before we came in here today. But anyway, SmackDown's second draft pick of the night on round 5. Another tag team, an American tag team.
The American Alpha.
The American
yes,
Alpha.
sir.
Okay, I don't remember
that earlier.
Luckily for you, Mr. Corey in Michigan, Ray, I don't remember their theme song. So, I mean, it's one of my favorites, though. I know it's very distinguishable. I just don't remember it at the top of my head right now. So we're gonna skip that. So American Alpha, which was really a surprise to me, also that I had hoped that they would get their call up.
Yeah.
But to be not on the WWE Network's list, but to actually get called up, in such a high spot, they're going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the tag division. They're one of the best teams right now in the business, in my opinion.
Sure.
One of the most fun teams to watch.
No, definitely.
And these guys know how to. They're a pure tag team, in my opinion, when it comes to move sets and everything like that, helping one another to create moves.
They remind me a lot
and
of
setting
Austin
each
Benjamin.
other up, etc.
Yeah.
So that's very rough. I mean, the last time I saw that was probably when the Shield was, dominating, and that's because that was a 3-man trio. That wasn't a two-man team. So next pick, let's go back to Raw. This will be Raw's last pick for this category, and it's another tag team. The other half of the club. Too sweet, baby. Yeah, so not much to say there. Congrats to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson for hitting, the flagship show. As long as
But ultimately, Kind of splitting up the club.
They split up the club, but with Finn Balor there, who knows?
Exactly.
He might take over as the boss. If you know what I mean.
But Sunday night they'll get to do the one last thing that they enjoy doing. They're
Beating up John
Beat up John Cena.
beat up John Cena.
Yep. Yes, sir. Okay.
Too sweet.
So that was that marched down to round 5. Let's go to round 6. I think this is round 6. Round 6 or 7. I don't know. There's too many of them.
Too many rounds.
Yeah, there's 3. Yeah. My brain's already fried already. But okay, well, since we're getting close, we've got about like 6 minutes. The Big Show. It's the Big Show.
Which way did he go?
Okay, yeah.
He went to Raw.
Raw, and according to this,
Shane McMahon said something like
Yeah.
that, right?
he got a D grade apparently from what I'm seeing here. It says he has 0 momentum after a long TV absence. Draft spot could have been used to boost an emerging star instead. So I don't know, I think the Big Show, like Mark Henry said a few years ago, still has a lot left in the tank, okay? This is a guy that he's going to do whatever they tell him to do. So if they want him to be gone, he'll be gone. If they want him to go advertise, be a star for WWE campaigns, he's going to go do it. He's another John Cena. I think he's a guy that's going to be a team player.
Yeah.
He's going to do whatever they tell him to do. And I respect the Big Show. The guy's been in the business as long as anyone else has been there. So
Since we were kids, we've seen.
He's been in business since 1995.
yeah, 20 plus years already,
Giant.
guys. He's one of the main veterans there. So for them to give him a grade of a D, I think it's a little disrespectful because
Yeah.
not too long ago he was feuding for the world title.
He's held every title in almost every brand. If you think about it,
He's
he's held the United States Championship. He's held the Intercontinental Championship. He's held
US
the
champion,
WWE Championship,
tag
the
champion.
ECW Championship, the
Yep.
WCW Championship.
Yep.
They only got to hold all 3 major world titles from all 3 major promotions.
Exactly. So whoever's
He's
saying
the only one
that
to do that, yeah.
needs to go and
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're still on the air. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
To the
so
alternatives.
let's go back to SmackDown. Big Show was their top pick for there, and now we're going to the Showstoppers. Other guy,
Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. I
Come
want to call him the
on.
new
What did
Showstopper.
Shawn Michaels do to you, man?
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
What the heck was that? That was like a twisted Michael Jackson.
Okay. Yeah.
He might moonwalk
Now
after.
he's shaking and
Ziggy
he's moonwalking.
Ziggy Smalls. According to this, he has potential to be a major player for SmackDown. Although he had a low draft spot, suggests he has more of a mid card position in the
But
new era.
sometimes, hey, the ones that get drafted late, hey, sometimes can end up being surprises. I mean, this could be a renaissance for guys like Dolph Ziggler.
All right, guys, we're kind of close. We only got like 3 minutes left, so I'm just gonna kind of breeze through the rest of them, and then we can give our closing shout outs.
And then we'll go to the second hour.
Well,
Come on. I want some calls.
I got an early class tomorrow. You can call one. I'll give you one call, Tony, today. Okay. So, Tony, this one's for you. Okay, number 25 draft pick for Raw, Nia Jax.
That's for Jay. No, it's Nia No Glove and Jax.
Nia No Glove and Jax. Okay,
She's
so
not like most girls.
270
No, I'm not going to sing the song.
270 pounds of dynamite.
Okay, so from going there, Natalya gets number 27 on SmackDown. So Natalya,
veteran on
another
SmackDown.
veteran. She's a B. She got a B plus grade right there. So
But
they're
she's
going
not
to
a B
continue.
plus
They're going to
player.
continue the feud with Natalya. So going from there, let's go back. We're going to go to Neville, who got drafted to Raw later, and this is one of the last rounds. Neville, he's an A-. He got a grade of an A-. Returning Neville will be a fun addition to a strong Raw roster, and drafting him here creates a bit of buzz for him. So hopefully we see a lot of great things from Neville now that he's coming back from this injury. And after Neville, towards the end of SmackDown's list here, and I might have announced it already. No, we didn't. Alberto
Del Rio.
Okay, I can do it. I'm just copying Ricardo Rodriguez.
You know what Corey just said right now?
What up?
If a seagull could sing, he's comparing you to
There
that.
you go. Yeah. It's all the love over here. Okay. So
He's
anywho,
listening.
Yeah, hey.
so Raw's final last 2 drop pick. Okay, did I mention Cesaro already or no?
Yeah,
Cesaro.
No, Cesaro we haven't mentioned yet.
Cesaro got a low spot, and unfortunately, he didn't like the brand that he went to either.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say. Cesaro, I'm really surprised he didn't get drafted in the top 20. He's in the low 30s.
And he wanted to go to
20.
SmackDown.
Wanted to go to SmackDown, didn't happen. I was a little disappointed that he got picked so low, but the roster is so huge.
Yeah.
Raw is Raw. Come on.
So he's going to be on the flagship show, and he's got a lot to prove now. So that's all I'm going to say. And last pick for Raw would be Sheamus, because I have no one else on SmackDown's list there.
Boy.
So
Sheamus is on, Raw.
Sheamus C+ has unfortunately become an afterthought at this point, according to the Bleacher Report. Okay.
But ultimately, I mean, he can do a lot more now. I mean, his best success, like he said last night on the WWE Network, is when it was on his own.
Oh, you know what? I thought we were getting close to finishing, but we're not. We have 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we can take callers.
Well,
let's go through the draft.
yeah, let's go through. Let's finish the
Just
draft.
go real fast.
Yeah.
Who's
gonna call? Who wants to call? If you don't mind
Ghostbusters?
asking? Is it Chris or what?
I'm going to call Chris.
No, we can call him in the after show, right?
Yeah, we're still
Sorry,
in the air.
Chris, we're still in the air. Yeah, I want to keep things PG over here.
PG.
So-
No offense, buddy.
So that was the on-air. That was the on-air draft. We only got to see basically about 30 superstars for the picks, 15, and how many Raw got a little more than SmackDown, but anyway.
Well, because they had to, because they got 1 hour extra to play with.
Yeah, so Raw got a bit of a portion of that. SmackDown had maybe like 5 less people to work with. But let's go ahead and call the rest of them out. Okay, so 31, the number 31 for Raw is. I can't even do it. How do you do it? The golden truth. I was trying to do the gold dust.
The golden truth, they're together.
Yeah, golden truth stayed as a tag team. Yeah.
With the exception of Lucha Dragons and Social Outcasts, no tag teams.
So Golden Dragon. Okay, Golden. Why did I say Golden Dragon? I must be hungry for Chinese food. But
I don't like Golden Dragon, but
I love the cheesecake bar. Besides the point, Golden Truth is going to be on Raw. You said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Golden Truth will be on Raw. We're going to get to see the shenanigans of what is to come, and I'm hoping that maybe you never know, they'll get a tag team title push. Booker T questioned it.
Yeah.
Who's the next one for
SmackDown? Number 32 pick. Usos. So boring.
SmackDown.
That's right.
The Rock Show.
Yeah, I don't care. That's whatever. I honestly have never been a fan of the Usos, to be honest.
Me either.
I respect what they do, but honestly, I think those two guys would do better as single competitors.
They did start hearing some Usos when they were feuding with the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, so they have a lot to prove, being former tag champions themselves, and they need to kind of think about their careers at this point. Is it better for them to stay a tag team, a pure tag team, or should these guys, kind of stray out and part ways and see how they do? And I'm really surprised that they weren't split up during the draft. I really would have enjoyed to see that, but disappointed. Okay, so number 33 for Raw. Who does the best Gator?
Titus O'Neil.
He's going to be on Raw?
Yep. Titus O'Neil is a Raw guy. So number 34, going to SmackDown, and we talked about him earlier, the original Demon.
Kane.
Okay, me and Tony were duetting it up.
I'm telling you, Kane is one of my favorites growing up as a kid.
Yeah, he was. He still is.
And you'll see him Tuesday nights on SmackDown.
I'm just sad that he didn't get general manager of SmackDown, but oh well.
Same here. I think he'd be great.
Yeah, he's gonna retire soon. We all know this.
But SmackDown's in good hands.
Kane for office
with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. It's Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley we may question on Raw, but
I don't like the idea. But that's me.
All right, so going back to Raw, we have Paige. This is my house. You're in my house. My favorite diva. Okay, who hates her in here? Jay hates her, right?
No, I don't.
Hates her. Jay. Okay, Isaac.
Did you see? Did you see an indie show in England? She slaps a fan.
The fan probably deserved it.
The fan was being really loud, obnoxious, and she just slapped the taste out of his mouth.
So like what Mike said, Paige probably that fan probably deserved it.
She gave him the Paige Turner, if you know what I mean. Okay.
She was on a rampage.
She was on a rampage. Okay, number 36 going to SmackDown, and I don't know why the numbers are just off here. Okay, Paige. It says Paige is number 35. Yeah, okay, whatever. Number 37 for SmackDown. Okay, Kalisto. I can't do that. Lucha. Yeah, I was gonna try to do that.
Well, you have Kalisto on SmackDown. Where is Sin Cara going?
2-time U.S. champion.
Sin Cara goes to Raw, number 30. Well, he's number 38. He was after Darren Young, though. Darren Young was actually picked before Sin Cara.
And where's Darren Young going?
Making Darren Young great again. He's going to Raw.
alongside his
any
life
thoughts
coach.
on Darren Young? Tony, I know you have some heated thoughts on him.
With Darren Young?
Yeah.
You know, with Darren Young, I do not like the fact that they just pretty much put everybody over just for him to build up for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I think this is what's going to happen. Titles can change at this pay-per-view and go to another brand. So, if Darren Young defeats The Miz, Darren Young is going probably back to Raw. And if Ryder defeats Rusev, he's going to go to Smack. He's going to take the
U.S.
championship.
Championship is going back to SmackDown.
Yeah, the U.S. Championship.
So do you think those mid-card titles are going to switch hands after the
Possibly. I highly doubt it. I have a feeling this is what's going to happen. This is my theory. Bob Backlund, he's an American. He's been set on American soil as one of the greatest wrestling greats of all time. You know, former NCAA plus
one of the longest running
champions of 6 years, and yes, defeated 8 seconds by Kevin Nash. But besides the point, this guy has made a big American mark for pro wrestling in the late 70s and 80s and 90s. So I could see Darren dropping the title for the IC Championship and maybe going for the U.S. Championship, because who better being a U.S. champion with your life coach, Bob Backlund? That could be another theory.
They're going to make Darren Young great.
Because come on, if you notice, his logo is actually patriotic, if you think about it. Red, white, and blue.
Maybe he'll team up with Jack Swagger. The real American. No, I'm kidding.
Or reunite with Titus O'Neil, the primetime players.
Never know. We saw them. They were there. They're both going to Raw, right?
Yeah,
they're both going to Raw. So Titus O'Neil was excited about that. I think when he's
get some TV time for
to each other backstage. But okay, we're cutting it short now, guys. We got about 4 minutes, so let's breeze through it. So Darren Young was number 36 pick. Number 37, like I said, was Kalisto. Going to number 38 was Sin Cara. We already mentioned Sin Cara. Don't got anything to say about Sin Cara.
No.
Number 39, Naomi.
Amazing.
I think Tamina's going to probably be
okay, so Naomi, number 38 or 39, right? Jack Swagger goes in at number 40. So Jack Swagger, still has a lot to prove. He's still a young guy, so he's been to the top of the mountain.
Swagger's on Raw.
He's on Raw. This is Raw. So.
Naomi's on SmackDown.
So Swagger got Raw. Going to number 41 now would be the Ascension as a tag team. So Ascension goes to SmackDown. I'm not complaining whether if they ended up on either show, to be honest.
Not really big Ascension.
The Dudley Boys moved to Raw, number 42.
No, that's why
that's
better that way.
Yeah. Number 43, it gets the woos, and I'm surprised he was drafted so low, to be honest, after all the buzz that he's been getting. Yeah, I'm not going to do that one.
Since he's challenging the
he's challenging for the U.S. title. Yeah. So Zack Ryder, I'm surprised that he was so low in the draft. But then again, so was Cesaro.
The last time he won the U.S. Championship was against Dolph Ziggler. Now they're friends, but they were rivals at one point.
And are on the same show.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But anywho, Summer Rae gets number 44 and is drafted to Raw. So we're going to get to see a lot of sunshine over there on the Raw side, guys.
Hopefully no rainbows.
And no rainbows, though. Hopefully we'll see. So we got one of the new and upcoming guys, number 46 or number 45. I don't know. These numbers are messed up. Number 45 goes to Apollo Crews. No, okay. Okay.
I don't think it worked last week either.
So, yeah, Apollo Crews goes to SmackDown, which is respectable and all. I mean, I'm surprised he was drafted so low, but at the same time, I feel like he, like Baron Corbin, he was another guy that kind of got mixed in with the shuffle, and, his kind of shine kind of de-shined a little bit after, their whole debuts after WrestleMania. So
the brand extension brings a lot of opportunity.
So,
absolutely.
Yep, it does. We're going to see a lot of titles and things change hands here. So, Mark Henry, the old school veteran guy that's been there as long as the Big Show, right?
Since 96.
Since 96, gets number 46.
Somebody will get there.
And he's going to Raw. Okay, I can't do that.
Yeah. I can't sing the theme song because we
got to keep things PG. Yeah, okay. So number 47 goes to an NXT up-and-comer, Alexa Bliss. No?
We'll see more of her.
Yeah, we'll see what's
What
up.
was her grade behind that?
She was. She didn't get them. The ones that weren't drafted live don't get.
It's-
Don't get a grade,
Or the
unfortunately.
veterans,
But
right?
she's probably like a C
No,
or a
it's
D.
the televised ones.
Yeah, they just get
It should have been Bailey, honestly. I don't know, but anywho, that means they're going to give the title back to Bailey, in my opinion, on NXT. But anyway, going back, let's go to Mr. Braun Strowman, aka Mr.
Face of Destruction.
Face of Destruction. Yeah, the Black Sheep is what we like to call it. Number 48 to Raw.
no, Face of Destruction.
And who knows what's going to come with Braun Strowman? I'm expecting a lot of good things out of him. So, okay, guys. So that's pretty much it. I hate to say it, we're gonna have to close it out. We're already at the hour mark. So,
All right.
just quick shout outs, Tony, real quick.
Shout out to you, Chris. Hey, Ray, once again, happy birthday. My wife, I love you. My mom and dad. Dad, what's up? How's Wisconsin doing? Corey from Michigan.
Corey from Michigan, shout outs to you. Thanks for watching, as well as Frank from right here in McAllen.
Oh gosh.
Bandana Joe, Danny Ramon, Shooter, everybody at Wrestle Revolution, we give you a shout out as well.
Shout out to my parents, mom and dad. Love you guys, of course. Everyone listening on the station, Joe and Chris from the station. Just everyone listening out there, everyone that loves wrestling, everyone that likes to hear our podcast on a weekly basis. Thank you very much for listening. So, Tony, you want to start us off with that last saying that we usually do?
Yes. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. And if you're not down with Armbar, we do have 2 words for you. No gloves.
No gloves, baby. So we'll see you guys next week. This is 97.7 FM The City, and you are listening to Armbar Radio. Okay, that's it.
Stay classy.
We went over about like a minute, but that's okay.
Can we just do a second hour just a little bit? Like, not too much.
Call Chris right now. It's just that I gotta.
I want to hear Corey what
I
he
have
has
an
to
early
say.
class tomorrow. So okay, so we're still live on 97.7 FM, and if you guys want to call Chris and Corey, whatever, go for it.
Can we call Chris first?
Got 2 viewers. But yeah, this is it, and we're talking about the draft live, and I guess say the other people really quick. Hold on, the rest of the people that we missed out. We only had like a couple.
We can swear now?
We could swear. So the rest of the picks for Raw was Breezango, Ava Marie, the Vaudevillains, Eric Rowan, Mojo.
Chris, swear for me.
What's going on, you freaking motherfuckers?
There you go. Hey, who didn't call in? Fuck that guy. He didn't call in.
Can you have them both on there?
Yes, it's not Jimmy Hart, it's Corey from Michigan.
So we got 2 callers already at the same time on the radio.
It's going good, Corey. Welcome to our bar.
Thanks.
So what do you think of the draft?
First, I want to say there's no. I just want to say there's no hard feelings with you, Mike. It's just a casual dislike I have. It's like people hate Cena for different reasons. You just your singer. So don't worry, Mike. You're all good.
I didn't agree with the
Mike says it's all good.
draft. I didn't agree with it.
I share the love of my music, okay? So, it's whatever.
I
Well,
think Kevin
all I
Owens
can
should
say
have
is
got SmackDown.
what a draft it was, but hey, I think everything was evened out. I mean, I still will consider SmackDown the show, but that's just one's opinion.
Who else?
Oh yeah. The draft was pretty good. I guess my question is, what would have happened had they actually chosen your shirt, Samoa Joe? What would have actually happened? Would they have held the tournament?
Anyway,
Would it have,
give me a no gloves,
what
man.
would have actually happened?
Yeah.
They would have stripped him from
I'll
the
see you
title.
tomorrow at work, okay?
I mean, they would have had probably a tournament for the NXT Championship, as you're saying. I wouldn't necessarily agree that that the reason they kept him there is because he just won the championship. So I mean, that's why they're going to keep him there a little longer. He'll get his call up later on in the year, probably.
Hey, what do you think of the singing, Corey?
If a condom could sing, that's what Mike sounds like. No offense,
If
Mike.
the condom can sing, wow.
That's just the singing. I just,
Come on, bro.
Really, that's the volume on my head.
I just don't like your singing. The only reason I think you're to me, you're a heel because of the singing stuff. But seriously, dude, I really don't hold any
Well,
ill
thank you.
will against you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Hey, I saw your pictures at the hotel with all those guys, man.
AJ Styles and Luke Gallows, rather. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got an autographed personal autograph from actually the whole club.
Wow.
And that was pretty good.
Any
The
NXT?
really funny, the funny story I do have, though. When Big Cass, we have a spinner door at the hotel. Big Cass actually got stuck in the automated door, and he was stuck in there for about, 10, 15 seconds. And when he comes back around, he's like, dude, what's with your door? And I just looked up, and as if on cue, I said, well, you're 7 feet tall. I can't teach that. And he looks at me with this look of, I hear that every day, dude. I don't need to hear it from you.
Wow. So he gave you a dead stare.
But he still,
Yeah, pretty much.
but he still was nice enough to take a picture with Corey.
Technically,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
6'8".
He can't break kayfabe anyways.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Katy Perry, or not Katy Perry. What's
Katy
it?
Perry.
Katy. Why am I saying that? Lana, she broke kayfabe really bad, man. A couple interviews back.
Where she was actually speaking in her normal voice
Yeah.
as opposed to the.
Did she?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was an interview on WWE.com with Michael Cole speaking with Rusev and Lana, and Lana's voice kept sliding in and out of character, if you catch my drift.
What?
Well, that's probably why we haven't seen her. I mean, some of the people that we really haven't seen much on the show, like Paige, like Lana. I will say there were a couple of people, besides that on the draft that blew me away. American Alpha getting the push all the way to literally televised television. Okay, great, but it just that one just shocked me. Everyone kind of knew Finn Balor was coming over, but the NXT picks, some of them really struck me out of left field.
Yeah, like Alexa Bliss, for instance.
What
What
about
do you think
Samoa
about
Joe?
that?
I was kind of upset.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe wasn't there.
Bailey was the one. I remember Mike was very
I
outspoken
was
about it
upset
yesterday.
about that. Yeah, I was like, why are you gonna leave her there? What does she have left to do on
That's
NXT?
an insult. That's an insult that Joe didn't get drafted yet.
But you got to also remember Samoa Joe's the
Unless
NXT
they're
champion.
Unless they're planning on Bailey doing something again with Asuka, unless they're planning this, interesting feud or a grudge match or something, you're right. Bailey has no business anymore. If Bailey's got nothing left to do in NXT, bring her up, for the women's division.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that might be what they're planning for Takeover Brooklyn coming up in August, the night before SummerSlam. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, like I was telling the guys, if that happens to be Bailey's last NXT match, because she could still get called up. Just because they don't get called up now from the draft doesn't mean it still can't happen at the end of the year.
Slater. What about Heath Slater?
Yeah.
Heath Slater went undrafted.
What do you guys think about the Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton? No build up to the match. At least I haven't seen anything so far. What do you guys think about this unknown SummerSlam
I don't
match?
care for it.
Well, they're gonna pick it up in Battleground when Y2J interviews
Randy Orton.
So it momentum will pick up within that pay-per-view. But I knew that match was going to happen since the get-go. It had to happen. That was about 14 years in the making. And I remember there was a match with Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. And this is when Orton was barely getting out of OVW. And he was barely, starting out. I know that Brock Lesnar dropped him like a bad habit. But now that he's in his prime, I could see this as a great match in the making.
Well, I just have one question. Does anyone really see Randy Orton winning?
No,
Because I can't. I can't see Randy Orton winning this match.
he's not. It's going to come close, but it's not going to win. Because the reason why is because Lesnar just defeated Mark Hunt at UFC 200. If he was to lose to Randy Orton, it's going to make Brock Lesnar's character a weak competitor, if you can catch my drift.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, Brock got popped for PED, for performance enhancement drugs. So
but Randy Orton's been popped 4 times with the Wellness Center. What difference does it make if you think about it?
well, when you think about it, it's like it just allows.
It's really bad that you bring Randy Orton in. First match he's back. He's been injured for a little while. You bring him back. Boom, a loss, but it's really not where, it's who. It's a loss against Brock Lesnar. So yes, Brock Lesnar has momentum, but it's just I don't see Randy Orton's. know, when Randy Orton came back in 09, he had the look and the feel and everything like that, and he had a mission. This one, I just can't see anything. But I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to see how it builds. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this match. I mean, I'm a fan of Orton and Lesnar, but it's like, I don't know, just some things you can't mix.
I could see another match. It'd be great for another SummerSlam alternative. I could see Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. That could be a possibility too. That would be a very good.
Build that real good though.
I mean,
they'd have to build that really good. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. That could be an interesting possibility. But they'd have to build that one really good with
former strongman Eric Shear.
With the way it goes and stuff.
But ultimately, it's like the old saying goes, wait and see, basically. I mean, we'll see what other matches take place at SummerSlam, but Battleground, the historic one-time only triple threat match with Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins for the WWE title. Because the reason I say one-time only is Ambrose is going to be on SmackDown, Rollins and Reigns are on Raw. So, yeah.
I have a hunch Rollins is going to get it.
I think Ambrose should retain it. It would make SmackDown even better to have the WWE title on.
It's really
SmackDown.
weird because the card now is saying that Dean Ambrose is going to be defending the WWE Championship it'll be a SmackDown pay-per-view in Hidalgo, Texas. Who's he defeat?
Well, he's scheduled to defend against, I believe, Alberto Del Rio. It's not a SmackDown pay-per-view. It's a SmackDown live event.
It's a SmackDown live event. So the card is a possible change, right? In the booking of the
card,
matches.
yeah, card subject to change.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely see that come Battleground. If Ambrose wins, it would make SmackDown look strong, especially since now they're going to be live on Tuesday nights as opposed to being taped on Tuesday to air Thursday or Friday. So,
look, now they're advertising the main event as a triple threat match. Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio.
Hey.
Before it was Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton, I think. And now they're throwing in Alberto Del Rio. What the hell?
Well, I mean, hey, you got to do something. I mean, even Corey, you called it for Del Rio to go to SmackDown, where you could kind of see him filling the void. I mean, I talked about earlier how John Cena could fill the void Undertaker had as the standard bearer of SmackDown. You could see Del Rio doing that as the role Kurt Angle had when Angle was running the Roost on SmackDown years ago.
I've said this many times before. Some guys just work better on SmackDown. Some guys just work better on Raw.
Yeah.
And not just the guys, but sometimes the girls just work better on both shows. Alberto Del Rio was just one of those guys that just, he's better on SmackDown. He is.
Yeah, I mean, well, ultimately, it's like, originally, like I said a few episodes ago, SmackDown was kind of like NXT before NXT was NXT. Because you had a lot of guys that came up through SmackDown, like Mr. Anderson or Mr. Kennedy, MVP. They excelled well on SmackDown. MVP was the longest reigning U.S. champion.
Yes, he was.
Before he went to Raw. When he went to Raw, the magic wasn't really there. Same thing with Mr. Kennedy. I mean, when he went to Raw, it was just like he was another guy to feed to John Cena or to Triple H.
Or Ziggler, too. He actually progressed pretty well, too. He won the title against Edge.
Yeah. So,
it was a terrible rating on this part.
And then, of course, also you got on SmackDown, we got the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley.
So he has something to fall back on. So if the singles competitor, if he loses, he can always go to tag team if it's possible. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I mean, it's
multiple opportunities.
The only thing is, though, there's not a tag team. I mean, there's a tag team division, but no tag team championships on SmackDown since New Day's got the titles on Raw.
But the Hype Bros,
Ascension.
When you boil it down, what WWE is really saying is stay tuned because it's like JR used to say, business is about to pick up.
And what are your thoughts on
leave to stay on the line, guys. But I got to get ready for work, so I will catch you later.
Take it easy, Corey.
And guys, like I said, great show, guys. And talk to you later.
All right, man. Stay classy, Corey. All right.
Stay classy. Sound like what's his face?
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
But are we still on the air?
We are still on the air on YouTube, so if you guys want to say your goodbyes, let's go for it.
Just want to also give my shout outs to my family, my mom, my brother, my sister. Also to Armbar fan Armand, who just had his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. And ultimately cannot wait for Sunday's Battleground. Like I said, the triple threat match, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Like WrestleMania 11 when Lawrence Taylor wrestled against the late, great Bam Bam Bigelow. Lawrence Taylor was advertised first time, last time, only time. And the way I see it with this triple threat match, it's the same way. And also to our cohort from Armbar, Isaac. Can't wait for the Architect's return. That way I can.
We miss you, man. When you come back, we'll have an Armbar barbecue.
That way I can officially say, Brother Isaac, we knew you'd come.
And plus, he's got a car, ladies and gentlemen, so we don't have to pick him up anymore, right?
Yes, saves us gas money.
Yes, so do not buy any more Jordan. Save up for that gas money, man, because we want to see you. We miss you. And we'll have a big Armbar barbecue for your sake. Anyway, anybody want to conclude anything else?
Nope, I'm good. We'll see you guys next week.
No gloves, guys. No gloves.
Baby. Thanks for watching, okay? We'll see you all next week, hopefully.
By any chance, do we need to come up with a new catchphrase besides no gloves now for 2017?
We'll get to the